all cameras, whether fancy SLR or a disposable $5 camera. They all follow the same mechanisms. When you understand how these mechanisms work, all the manual modes and buttons make a lot more sense. So here are the basics. Your camera is basically a light capturing device. It records light via a light sensitive medium. Years ago, this medium was film. Nowadays, it's mostly a digital sensor. How sensitive the light recording medium is called ISO. The ISO is measured in varying numbers. The less sensitive, the higher quality the image. We'll get back to this in a second. But anyways, just like your eyes, your camera has its lens. This is where light enters from. When you take a picture, the aperture, or your eye, is opened and lets light in. It then closes after enough light is let in to create the image. The smaller the light hole, or the aperture, the more concentrated the light will be, and this will result in a clearer image. It also creates a more expansive depth of field where the entire image is in focus, even if the background is several feet away. The drawback to this is that the smaller hole lets less light in, so it ends up taking longer to take each individual picture. Nowadays, cameras can change the aperture size, so when you make your aperture bigger, more light is let in. The result? A faster exposed image. However, the light is less focused and results in a more shallow depth of field. You know, those shots with a person in focus and then the background all blurry. The benefits of using a big aperture are more light and faster exposure time. The drawbacks are that the background gets blurry, and this is a no-no if you're taking expansive landscape shots where you want a flower in focus in the front and mountains in focus way miles far away. How long your photo is exposed is called the shutter speed. The shutter is basically like a door that opens and closes the aperture to let light in. Got it? So a small aperture requires a longer exposure, and a large aperture requires a shorter exposure. And these are all controlled by how sensitive your light-sensitive medium is, or your ISO. Okay? So that's the basics of how your camera works at exposing an image. The next step is to learn exactly how to use these functions of your camera for clear, beautiful photography.